I can hear myself now.
1, 2, 1, 2. Ooh.
Testing.
I can hear me too. Can you hear me? Excellent, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to MEC 2014. We have the pleasure of the lovely Bulldog with me. I'm Smashlin Monroe. We are welcoming to the track the next game. Who have we got, Bulldog?
We've got Panam versus Lincolnshire. Lincolnshire Rolling Thunder versus the Panam squad from Paris, France.
So these guys have played earlier on and got to this point, game 5 on the Saturday, to figure out who goes through to the next level of play.
That is correct. Well, both of these teams have suffered 1 defeat, so moving into the next bracket. But of course, a knock out of the first place bracket. Potentially, they are looking at potentially coming in 5th in the tournament. That's the best they can do, but which is an accomplishment.
Both teams have played exceptionally today, but again, it does come down to the fact we have to find who's going to win. These guys could be 5th or 6th, so let's see how it goes. Just looking out here, we've got the listing of who's playing on what team. Going up for Lincolnshire Rolling Thunder, we have Giggity, Tomahawk, Rip Snorter, Finickety, Benno, Toots, Eves or May, Sully, Pistol, Marvelous, Kosh, Holy Smith, Geriatric, and Gazabite.
And I might have to say those over because of that thick accent of yours.
Yeah, unfortunately, I do feel that people don't understand me. How on earth are you doing it, Bulldog? Have you got a translator here that the people at home just cannot see?
Oh, I've hung around in this country long enough that I'm gradually learning to get over your thick accents.
And just with my accent, I'm just quickly going to go over the players that we've got for Panam squad. We have Captain Win, Lucky B, Brutal Deluxe, Pooper Test, Monkey Business, Judas, Alligator, Carambola, Gon's Power, Maelstrom, Viking, and Bad Mojo. And it looks like we are getting ready to kick this off.
There's the 5-second cue. Sully, number 3, jamming for Lincolnshire in the purple against Poopa Test, number 223 in the yellow for the Panam squad. Game is on. Sully behind Bad Mojo, slips to the inside. Now he's only got Carambola up front, trying to get through, but Poopa Test out of nowhere breaks free of the Lincolnshire defense, claims lead. Jammer just ahead of Sully. Sully now fighting his way past Alligator and Brutal Deluxe. Panam squad losing a blocker, Bad Mojo, to the penalty box as Poopa Test hits the pack on his first scoring pass. Geriatric drives him out of bounds with his shoulder. Poopa Test calling off the jam. He will pick up 1 point for the Panam squad, and Lincolnshire not getting in there. So first jam, 1-0 Panam.
Not a bad start. Again, both teams have played already today, got to this point. It's quite late in the day. We've had a long time chilling out, getting everything back into order. So let's see, getting up on the gem line, we have number 27, Monkey Business, in the lovely yellow for the Panam squad.
That's right, we're about a little over an hour behind due to a severe injury, and we're all, our thoughts are with Darth Sebius of New World Order. We're hoping that he will come through okay, but right now Tomahawk getting through the pack, picks up lead Jammer. A lot of speed. Oh, number 27, Monkey Business, getting sent to the penalty box. The Jammer for Panam picking up a cutting the track penalty.
That is Monkey Business sitting down for a cut track. Again, leaving this open for Tomahawk, working his way forward through the blockers there from the Panam squad.
Oh,
Nice.
gets around Lucky Bastard on the inside, picks up the Grand Slam. Oh, that's a swear word? Not where I come from.
Well, where you
but
come
I'm from Louisiana.
Anything goes where you're from, my love. So back in the UK, Lucky B. Looking at the action on track, Tomahawk is working his way past those blockers there, coming up against a wall of yellow from the Panam squad. Captain Win pressuring him on the outside, really coming up against Lucky B.
Lucky B, right. Lucky brother.
Still no breakout there for Tomahawk. Gon's Power recycling, but that jam is over before he could get anywhere. Looking, I think there was some action up front there for the Panam squad, Monkey Business.
I'm sure he's referring to a type of sword made from 2 different metals. This is have you been
drinking, Bulldog?
Have you ever been to England? You know about sword making? They make swords.
It's not one of my favourite hobbies here in the UK, but maybe it's something I'll look into.
Well, Tomahawk coming through for Lincolnshire, picking up 16 points, putting them into the lead. So a lead swap. We've got Giggity, number 00, jamming for Lincolnshire in the purple. Karam Bowler, number 59, in the yellow for Panam, driven out of bounds, recycles behind Gazabite, now runs into the 3-wall. Geriatric in the center, flanked by Pistol and Gazabite. Holding back Karam Bowler, but he drives up the center. Geriatric hangs on. Pistol trying to get in front of him, but Giggity, the jammer for Lincolnshire, already through the pack. He is lead jammer, now on a scoring pass as Karam Bowler breaks free, completing his initial pass. Giggity sees it in time, calls off the jam, will get all 4 points for Lincolnshire, nothing for Panam.
Just a quick shout out to Rydell Skates, unmatched quality, unmatched performance, and you know what, go and check them out at their website. It's www.rydellskates.com. On the jam line, we've got Tomahawk 007 for the Lincolnshire Rolling Thunder. He's come up against number 27, Monkey Business. That's for the Panam squad. Monkey B. Is that it now? Are we getting all street and ghetto? So does that mean?
Well, actually, that word in Louisiana is a cuss word. So.
What, monkey?
No. No, the B word.
Business.
Yeah. Shh, watch your mouth.
Anyone in Louisiana that is watching, I apologise if I did just call you business. So you'll have to explain that to me later, Bulldog. So does that mean I just have to call you B?
No.
B-dog. Oh, how ghetto. Especially my very British thick accent.
Well, you can call me that if you want, but then people won't know what you're calling me. All right,
just
Monkey.
Doing a lap of honour there. Monkey Business straight off the start. They're battling against those Lincolnshire Rolling Thunder boys.
Tomahawk driven out of bounds, comes in clean, slams into Bad Mojo, tries to get around Alligator, but Alligator holds on, knocks him out of bounds, but Tomahawk too fast on his feet, gets through. He's lead jammer, a back block on Monkey Business, sends him to the penalty box. It's a power jam. Tomahawk on his first scoring pass. Alligator makes contact, but is brushed aside by Tomahawk.
And
calls off the jam very delicately, yes.
Same brain, taps his hips to end that jam. I think it's the pink leggings. They're obviously bringing out his feminine side. Getting lined up for the next jam. We have Gazabite there for the Lincolnshire Rolling Thunders. Starting off this jam. Out front on his Todd. In the UK, that means on his own.
Gazabite driving into the 3-wall and a wide open center lane. That was Lucky B trying to hold him in, last line of defense, but now Gazabite in control of the clock with lead jammer. Up the inside, past Brutal Deluxe, gets knocked down.
Panam squad really stretching out that bridging for that point, but again, with that happening, it does look like we have a change here. We have the jammer for the Lincolnshire Rolling Thunders into the box. That is Gazabite for what I believe was a cut track.
Yes, indeed, it was a cut track. Judas coming out of the penalty box as well as Monkey Business, the jammer for Panam. So Panam back to full strength and now on a power jam. Monkey Business actually came out of the penalty box just before Gazabite sat down, so that is a full penalty for the Lincolnshire jammer. Monkey Business on a scoring pass to the inside. Giggity just catching him with a hip check, driving him to the center of the track. He has to recycle now, driving against the 4-wall. Giggity once again comes across with a brutal hip check, knocking Monkey Business down, and that ends the power jam. Both jammers on a scoring pass on their first scoring pass. Giggity up front. That is giggity, but I can't say that consistently, so he's just giggity to me.
Just giggity, the singular.
Just in case you're wondering.
I think we still understand what you mean by
it's
that.
It's actually giggity goo. because there's a little G in front of the 00 on his number that you can just barely see. But Giggity is, Gazabite. Gazabite is the jammer for Lincolnshire, who looks just like Giggity.
Are you getting stuck on the G's there a bit, B-Dog?
I think I was looking at his number sideways so that it looked like 2 zeros instead of an 8. But Gazabite gets 4. Grand slam for Monkey Business, though, so Gazabite did get in on a second scoring pass, but no points. Just ran out of time before he hit the pack. So it's a 5-4 jam. Pan Am squad actually winning that jam by 1.
Welcoming up on the jam line, we have number 7 Viking for the Pan Am squad, and he is coming up against Lincolnshire Rolling Thunder's sponsored skater there, Yves May. Lucky chap to get that sponsorship deal, and that is with Ennui. What can we say about that? It's a new concept of protective gear specifically designed for alternative sports and all non-motorized wheeled sports. Designed and run by skaters, our aim is to create protective gear that we would wear ourselves. Products that keep us safe and protect our bodies. Viking,
the Pan Am squad jammer up the inside, but Kosh catches him with a hip check. But Viking just bounces off, lands inside, lands that apex jump, gets 4, calls it off in time. Nothing for Lincolnshire. That brings Pan Am up to 10. Lincolnshire still at 29.
And in that move, I think Viking was purely powered by his beard. That is what I found. Viking's beard and mead. That is what they used to get them through the hard winters.
There was a Valkyrie suspending him in the air by his beard.
Nearly taking him to Valhalla, but not quite there.
I think that theory is pretty slim, but
it's a possibility, Bulldog. It's a possibility.
Might have been his skates and powerful quad muscles, but you know, 6 of one, half a dozen of the other. We got number 3 Sully jamming for Lincolnshire. He gets lead jammer. Poopa Test, number 223. This is actually a rematch from the very first jam. Poopa Test still on his initial pass. Sully hits the pack on his scoring pass for Lincolnshire. Oh, just jukes behind Lucky B to complete his first scoring pass. Gets a grand slam. Poopa Test sliding by a hip check from Tomahawk to complete his initial pass.
That
Sully
is Lucky B stepping up into the plate for the sin bin. He has been a bad boy. I do believe a cut track was awarded to him. Just pointed out that actually in the last jam, Sully did break his wheels, but very, very quickly managed to get them changed. That's pretty impressive to see a guy do something that quickly.
Sully gets 4 points on his second scoring pass, so a 9-point jam for Lincolnshire. Or Lincolnshire.
Lincolnshire.
Shire. Oh, I said it right.
Lincolnshire. You can always call it Lincolnshire, but then people would just take the mick out of you. And we don't want that, Bulldog. We want you to feel welcome here in the UK.
That's worse than Lincolnshire?
Yes, they don't like that.
Oh, okay, good.
Right. Looking at the scores, we've got Lincolnshire Rolling Thunder on 38, Pan Am on 10.
Toots, number 21, jamming for Lincolnshire. Up the center, gets driven to the inside of the track. Maelstrom jamming for Pan Am in the yellow, not lead jammer. Toots gets out second, but he does claim lead. Calls off the jam before Maelstrom can get in.
And what was a very big hit there, launching one of the Pan Am players literally into the air. Let's hope he's okay and recovered. Looked slightly brutal.
Lucky B now standing in the penalty box, so he'll be returning to play shortly. Other than that, we've got everyone else is on the track. He's standing in the penalty box all by himself.
Oh, the 7s on that jam line. We've got Viking for the Pan Am squad and Tomahawk for the lovely Lincolnshire Rolling Thunders.
Viking looking for an inside lane. Tomahawk just weaving back and forth, just trying to find any weakness in the Pan Am defense, but they hold strong in a 3-wall.
Yeah, looking at that walls, that's going to be hard to break through. Tomahawk pressuring the blockers out up front for Pan Am, but again, no one has broken out.
Viking, though, juking behind Benno, gets out for lead. Tomahawk to the penalty box, so a power jam for Pan Am. Cutting the track on Lucky B sends him back to the penalty box. So it's 1 blocker down for each team, 3-on-3 in the pack as Viking on his first scoring pass gets demolished in turn 3. And, cutting the track almost passes the line of no return. Ooh. Almost had to take another lap, but just hit the brakes just in time. That releases Tomahawk. Viking's going to serve about 15 or 20 seconds of that penalty by back of the brain estimation, I should say.
Back of the brain estimation.
Not an official estimate. About 15 seconds, it looks like. Viking released from the penalty box. Lucky B also released. That leaves Pistol by himself for Lincolnshire. So Lincolnshire down a blocker as Tomahawk completes his initial pass. Viking already on a scoring pass.
I'm getting the feeling that Lucky B is not as lucky as he likes to think. With the amount of times that he's actually visiting the box recently, I think maybe it's a bit of refocusing that he needs to understand. You're not so lucky when you get all them penalties, my friend.
Tomahawk gets 4 on his first scoring pass, matching Viking's 4. Viking gets through a second time. That's going to be 8 points. Tomahawk on his second scoring pass, immediately picked up by Karam Bowler. The dodges around Karam Bowler and picked up again. Same skater, and Judas with a shoulder check sends Tomahawk flying almost into the audience. He's got to recycle. Still on his second scoring pass. And Viking on his scoring pass number 3, but does not pick up any points. 4 more for Tomahawk. That ties it up in that jam, 8-8.
And another big shout out to Double Threat Skates, roller derby skate shop based in central London. And it's actually run by a couple of the London roller girls, that's Kristen Lee and Gorgasm. So if you're ever around downtown London, go and treat yourself to something nice at Double Threat Skates. Their website is www.doublethreatskates.co.uk.
That is Sully, number 3, getting lead jammer before the pack hits turn 2. Monkey Business with a cut track. It's gonna give another power jam to Lincolnshire. Sully with his first scoring pass gets the grand slam.
Panam are quite on it with those penalties at the moment, and it looks like they're trying to do a favour for Lincolnshire Rolling Thunder. Maybe need to keep their eye on that. Again, Sully number 3 for the Lincolnshire Rolling Thunder for 5 points. Very easy glide past the blockers there for Panam squad as we have Bad Mojo going to the box. Unfortunately, I didn't see what it was for, but another nice little jump there for Sully. Another 5 points as that jam is ended.
Monkey Business's jammer for Pan Am standing up now in the penalty box. Stood up just before the 4th whistle. So he's got almost 10 seconds remaining before he can rejoin the pack. As jammer for Pan Am, Eves or Mai jamming for Lincolnshire. 3-on-3 in the pack right now, 1 blocker down for each team.
Starts off as a power jam in favour of Lincolnshire Rolling Thunder as the jammer number 27 for Pan Am squad is still in the box.
Eves or Mai trying to get around Judas, gets caught by Lucky B. Judas gets back in front, but Eves or Mai scrambles too quick up the inside. Now lead jammer, just as Monkey Business comes out of the penalty box in a defensive posture, but Eves or Mai breezes by, immediately slams into the 2 wall. Judas can't catch him. Captain Wynn unable to stop him as well. 4 points in the first scoring pass for Eves or Mai. Did not get the jammer point, did not get all 5. That was a potential 5-point pass. Now another potential 5-point pass. But Judas knocking Eves or Mai out of bounds. Eves or Mai is going to call it quits. That ends the jam.
I think with that sort of action on track, it's getting to that point. 14.5 minutes left of play, and they are getting eager and ready for it.
I didn't see any score reported for that second scoring pass.
A timeout has been called. The Pan Am squad, I do believe, have decided they need to get together a bit of a chinwag for discussion and seeing exactly what they are sorting out now. Who knows with these kind of gatherings? Again, it can be a point just to gather yourselves back together, get your teammates riled up for these last 14 minutes of play.
Lincolnshire jammer ref did report in 3 points for the second scoring pass, bringing at this moment, bringing their total for that jam to 7.
Again, big shout out to the Blood and Thunder World Cup, the 2014 Roller Derby World Cup that will be taking place in Dallas, Texas this December. It's 30 countries over 4 days with 3 tracks. You know what? You can go and get your tickets online. If you go to rollerderbyworldcup.com, it is all there.
This is Pan Am's first time out. They have 2 remaining. Lincolnshire still has all 3.
We are welcoming to the jam line full Panam squad, 223 Pooper test. And he looks like he is up against Lincolnshire Rolling Thunder. That is number 3, Sully.
Both teams down 1 blocker, 3-on-3 in the pack. There's the whistle starting the jam, and a casual start. Both jammers just leaning into Alligator from Panam, but Alligator knocking Sully out of bounds, and he gets stretched out, helped out by Maelstrom, but Alligator got a penalty out of play and out of direction of play. Sorry, that's.
We're just having a hand signal lesson over here, making sure we get that one. That jam did actually end during the time that we learned that hand gesture to make sure that we got that direction of play. And also we do look like we are doing some sort of 80s dance move
less arm,
well.
more wrist. Yeah, there you go. Kind of like you're not sure about something.
Maybe not.
That's
we
a clockwise
starting
one.
this next jam with number 59 Karen Bowler on the line for Panam squad in the terrific yellow and black. But we have got him getting low up against Giggity 0-0 in the lovely purple and white
and
for the
yes,
Lincolnshire Rolling Thunders.
I'm sure it's Giggity this time.
Are you sure?
Giggity the jammer for Lincolnshire in the purple against Karen Bowler. Karen Bowler, number 59 in the yellow for Panam. Back and forth, Lincolnshire matching every move with her 3-wall as Giggity breaks free of the Panam defense. He's lead jammer now. Karen Bowler gets recycled and comes in, tries to shoulder check Giggity, but he breezes by, dodges around Monkey Business, completes the pass for Lincolnshire. That's a grand slam. Karen Bowler still on his initial pass, knocked out of bounds by Geriatric this time, recycled back by Tomahawk. Comes back, that's Toots, number 21, at the back of the pack. Toots and Pistol hanging on, helped out by Eves Ormai, making it a 3-wall. Now it is an absolute scrum in the pack right now. Giggity just has 4 blockers from Panam sitting on him practically.
It's very good to see.
Not technically.
Such
that would
tight
be illegal.
pack work that we are getting from this game. Panam squad defense are really, really blocking up the track for any of the Lincolnshire Rolling Thunder boys.
Star pass from Karen Bowler to Monkey Business, and Monkey Business is off to the races, putting the helmet cover on. Big Giggity's going to call it off.
Again, that was a very nicely done, but unfortunately didn't quite make it before the whistle was blown. Do you know what? Let's give a shout out to Queens of the Sin Bin, the official merchandise sponsors of the Men's European Cup 2014. For all of your custom derby clothing, whether you're a skater, official or a fan. Do you know what? Really, really good stuff. And the t-shirts that the announcers are wearing today and the officials are all from the lovely Queens of the Sin Bin, and they're rather fetching. I expect everyone to be wearing them tomorrow because I said so.
Maelstrom jamming for Panam against Sully, number 3 for Lincolnshire. Sully in a defensive posture, now helped out by Gazabite. Gazabite and Kosh squeezing Maelstrom together. Sully
nips out in front
getting
for
around,
that lead jammer. Very nicely done there, Bulldog.
Gets around Pupatest and Lucky B, the last line of defense. Now
Still
on his first scoring pass, it's Viking and Pupatest. Lucky B getting in there as well, but Sully breaking free. 4 points for Lincolnshire. He calls it off. Nothing for Panam.
Some serious pressure was played there up against Maelstrom, was starting off that jam. Exactly the style of play that we are seeing from both teams today. Again, looking at the clock, guys, 10 minutes, 40 seconds, and the scores, not a huge difference. We can see this change very easily. Lincolnshire Rolling Thunder 89, Panam squad 18.
Monkey Business, number 27, lining up for Panam against number 247, Eves Ormai for Lincolnshire. Lincolnshire in the purple, Panam in the yellow. Monkey Business to the right, can't get past Geriatric, tries the left side. Toots is there. Marvelous in the slips behind. Geriatric can't hold on to Monkey Business, but luckily Toots is there, driving him back to the inside lane where Geriatric is waiting. And they all get together, drive Monkey Business out of bounds. Toots draws him back behind the pivot line.
And I'm going to say it again. This sort of pack work is so tight, but again, it's what you've got to keep your eye on. And it's luckily enough that, as you can see, Eves Ormai, 247 Lincolnshire Thunder, got through lead jammer.
Now on his first scoring pass, runs into Captain Win and Bad Mojo. Alligator in the center helping out. Calls off the jam for 2 for Lincolnshire.
Again, here at the Men's European Cup 2014, we're lucky to have the MRDA, the Men's Roller Derby Association, proud to be backing this inaugural cup. We wish all the teams competing the best of luck, and so far so good.
I'll say it again, another empty penalty box.
Well, that's good to see. Can someone take a picture for me, because it's been quite busy, this play.
Tomahawk versus Viking. Tomahawk in the purple for Lincolnshire, the Viking in the yellow for Pan Am. Tomahawk around the outside, number 427, Alligator tries to catch him but slips out of bounds. Tomahawk scrambles back in but does not get lead jammer. No pass, no penalty. Did not get a valid pass past Alligator. A Viking gets lead jammer. He does not call it off. Tomahawk now on his first scoring pass. Vikings looking to match points and possibly a good decision. Tomahawk knocked out of bounds, now getting recycled all the way to the top of turn 2. Now Viking in front, slips by, somehow stays in bounds against a repeated shoulder checks from Kosh and completes the pass for 4. Calls off the jam now, and Tomahawk only getting 2 points. Pan Am wins the jam 4-2.
Again, with that sort of action, it's hard to keep your eyes on one part of the track when you know there is such challenging plays coming from both defensive areas of the teams. Just looking at some of the details we've got from our sponsor, skates.co.uk. They've been leaders in the extreme sports market since 2007 with a stellar range and expert advice in-house. You can't go wrong. Please go and check out their website for the latest products and deals. That is skates.co.uk.
Giggity, number 00, jamming for Lincolnshire against Pupatest, number 223. Pupatest past the 3 wall at the front. Toots last line of defense, but does not complete the pass.
Off to the box for a forearm.
Now Giggity in control with lead jammer. Bad Mojo also going to the penalty box for Pan Am, so that fills up Pan Am's penalty box. Only 2 blockers on the track. That's Brutal Deluxe and Captain Win, as Giggity just pirouettes around Captain Win. To the inside, gets a grand slam.
I'm thinking some of these guys have obviously done dance classes with those transitions and pirouettes. Better than I could even manage to do, Bulldog.
Giggity shoulders his way past Carambola and then does the same to Captain Win on the inside. Brutal Deluxe doesn't even make contact. Another grand slam, 10 points so far for Lincolnshire.
And great just to point out that Lincolnshire have now broken that century of points. They are 103, still well in advance of Pan Am squad.
Pupatest out of the penalty box, going up the center, gets knocked out of bounds by Sully and Geriatric.
With that recycling has brought Pupatest right back again. That is the element that they want, delaying tactics for him, getting through. Pupatest is a very strong skater. They need to do whatever they can.
Pupatest sent to the penalty box for a blocking out of bounds. So that means that it will be a power jam for Lincolnshire starting the next jam.
And on that jam line, they've already set up Gazabite, 8-bit for the Lincolnshire Rolling Thunders. And just a quick look on a couple of guys that we've got on track for the Lincolnshire Rolling Thunder. That's Kosh and Pistol. Basically, they are Holly Sheets, one of our lovely announcers today, lineup managers in Roller Derby Leicester. So, you know, this was one that was just passed to us, not by Holly at all.
Maelstrom heading to the penalty box. That drops the Pan Am squad down to 3 blockers against Gazabite. Gazabite now looking to crawl through and maybe get lead jammer that way, but he nevertheless got back up and was repelled again. Now knocked down by Lucky B. Has to pick himself back up. Drawn back by Monkey Business, back to turn 4.
With that pressure, he is really challenging his way back round on the outside there, but still no release for him. Pan Am squad applying that pressure as Pupatest is now back on track.
Gazabite is lead jammer now. Pupatest returning from the penalty box. Slips past a shoulder check from Yves Ormai to complete his initial pass. But Gazabite on his first scoring pass, knocked out of bounds by Maelstrom. Comes back in clean, no pass, no penalty. Gazabite desperately calling off the jam, but I see Pupatest gets all the way through. 4 points for Pan Am squad.
And I think the Pan Am squad are going to be happy with that. The more they got on the board, the smaller they make the differential in score with the Lincolnshire Rolling Thunder. Those guys got an early lead, and it's done a very good job for them.
And a 0 for Gazabite, nothing for Lincolnshire. So Pan Am squad actually winning the jam 4-0, even though Lincolnshire started out in the power jam position and got lead jammer.
It just shows how any jam can go and change direction very quickly in this sport.
Judas jamming for the first time for Pan Am squad against Sully, but Sully getting out first for lead. Low block on Kosh sends him to the penalty box. And now Brutal Deluxe of Pan Am squad going on a low block penalty. So that's going to be one blocker down for each team. Captain Wynn and Bad Mojo trying to hold Sully in the pack.
But they do knock him out, but with a big hit there to Pan Am squad. 427 Alligator. But
yeah.
It looks like nothing was caught there against Sully. He's carried on round the track.
That's right. That was a clean shoulder check. Brutal, but clean. Sully, though, slipping by Bad Mojo of the Pan Am squad to get out for a Grand Slam. That was the second Grand Slam, 10 points so far.
I think that big hit there did knock Alligator a little bit too much, that he almost missed Sully skating on by for those few points there.
And just like that, Sully gets through a third time, third Grand Slam, 15 points for Lincolnshire. Judas driving a shoulder into Geriatric, but immediately gets it returned by Toots. And there it is, forearm penalty on Judas. He sends him to the penalty box. So Pan Am without a jammer once again. Power jam for Sully.
Judas has delivered some cracking hits today, but he looks like he's getting a little bit dirty, I think is the word I was looking for. Some of these hits that are very good, but just not quite precise enough.
So it looks like Sully got his bell rung. He's a little slow getting up, but returns to his bench on his own power.
Again, looking a little bit stunned, but we think he's okay. Medics have just quickly double-checked, and I think it just knocked the wind out of his sails. But again, we'll get him double-checked over if he needs to be.
It looks like it may have just been contact to his ear. Yeah.
Oh, that's better than a big of a head hit. So what can we say? Let's just hope it wasn't too bad on his ear. Apparently, he bent his ear back. Ouch. I know that hurts, but I've had my ear twanged with these lovely headphones that we get to wear today, so that must have sucked even more because he was on track and got hit.
An official timeout right now.
And you know what, I'm going to do another shout out to one of our sponsors, Juice Wheels. What can I say about you guys? You're sponsoring the tournament awards at the ends of the Euro Cup. All of the winners that will get a prize are sponsored by Juice Wheels, and I believe will actually receive a set of those wheels. So that's excellent to see. Each of the 3 players that will get a full set of the Martini wheels. The Martini series feature a dual-poured inner urethane core, allowing the running surface of the wheel to remain in contact with the floor longer. Best thing, available in 3 delectable flavours. I'm hungry. Where's my donut? I want a donut. No, I'm only joking. I've got a muffin somewhere.
No comment.
No comment? Don't worry, I'm sure there's numerous comments that you could have come out with, Bulldog. So well refrained there, my love. With this official review, is it a referee one? Are they discussing who's wearing what to the after party?
I suspect they're wearing stripes.
That must suck when you turn out to the party and someone's wearing the exact same outfit.
Unless you're a referee, and then it's just normal.
Oh, it looks like there may have been something officially done for the Pan Am squad there. Again, at that point, it's not always 100% clear, so we do apologise and glad that we could get that qualified and clarified. That's the word I was looking for, that the Pan Am had called it. So with these times up, like we say, this inaugural MEC 2014 championship, we are well into the first day. We have Lincolnshire Rolling Thunder on 131, Pan Am on 26. And I do believe, if my maths isn't completely incorrect, that is 105 points difference between both teams.
I second that, 105 points separating. Now Tomahawk jamming for Lincolnshire. Going straight up the center. Judas, the jammer for Pan Am, in the penalty box. Lucky B, last line of defense, trying to reel in Tomahawk, but Tomahawk gets away.
And
Lead jammer.
Rolling Thunder getting a power jam in their favor. Again, not sure they necessarily need that luck right now. Maybe Lucky B needs to start thinking good thoughts again to get it back.
Tomahawk stealing a page from Gazabite's book, trying to crawl his way out of the pack. And then scrambles back to his feet, completes the pass for 5. Second scoring pass, but now Judas out of the penalty box, so no longer a power jam, but Judas on his initial pass for Pan Am. Tomahawk gets his way. He had to meander a little bit, but completed the pass, gets only 4 out of potential 5. 9 points total in the jam.
And we've just had a quick update on that official review that was called by Pan Am. Basically, they were questioning a forearm on the jammer, but the referees have confirmed that it does still stand.
So attempting to spring their jammer. Only less than 2 minutes remaining in the first half. So reasonable usage of your official review, trying to spring your jammer, shorten their penalty, and potentially allow you to change jammers if you wanted to. But Giggity jamming for Lincolnshire, getting through the pack with ease. Well, he had a couple of contacts, but nothing too difficult. Viking getting knocked out of bounds, having a lot of difficulty getting out of his initial pass.
But
Giggity.
The one thing that I'm finding with a lot of the skaters out there with Viking is shorter, but you know what? That is not making a huge difference for him. It's actually most probably going in his favour because it can actually go under their arms. But again, it takes a lot of skill and tactics to play against some of these guys. We've seen some impressive skills showed today.
Viking gets spun around in the back of the pack by the 3-wall. Geriatric in the center with Toots and Gazabite flanking him. And getting nowhere. Giggity coming through a third time. Third grand slam for Lincolnshire. 15 points. Viking now passing the star to Maelstrom, the pivot. He has the star, gets around Geriatric, knocked down by Toots, but drags himself back up, and he's off, completing his initial pass. Giggity, though, looks over at his bench. He gets a signal, calls off the jam, and that's going to be 17 points, 2 points in the last scoring pass for Lincolnshire. 17 total, nothing for Pan Am. And unless we get a timeout, a team timeout, we're not going to see another jam in the first half.
That halftime is called, ladies and gentlemen. We have had the first 30 minutes of this game with the Lincolnshire Rolling Thunders clear out in front with 157 points. Pan Am squad still remaining on 26. Well, I don't know about you, but I'm going to see how good they're going to be in the next 30 minutes where they get 131 points to see how they bring that back. So what we're going to do now, ladies and gents, we're going to have a bit of a break, and then we'll come back to you for the second half. So again with that, he's just returned back to his bench.
Lincolnshire's first time out right now.
And again, we do have some fantastic sponsors for this event. The Men's European Cup 2014, which so far has been awesome. So what I'll do is I'll give a quick shout out to the MRDA, the Men's Roller Derby Association, that are very proud to be backing, like I said, this inaugural Men's European Cup. And they wish all the teams competing the very best of luck. Monkey Business number 27 for Pan Am squad on that jam line.
As number 21, Toots, lining up for Lincolnshire.
I think this is the first time we've seen him jam, isn't it, if I'm correct? Or am I just making things up? Looks like the first time jamming this half. This game, that's what I said. Exactly, see, I know what I'm doing. They just let me keep talking, and now they're just looking at me. Thanks very much. Back to the action on track. We have Monkey Business up again, Toots.
Empty penalty box, 5-on-5 on the track.
That is very nice to see, boys. Thank you very much for making our job a lot easier than staying on track.
Monkey Business trying to get up the inside, but it gets piled on by Lincolnshire's defense. Toots getting through the Pan Am squad. Lead jammer for Lincolnshire.
And
Monkey
it's nice
Business
to
up
see.
front, a 3-wall holding him back. Tomahawk on the inside, in the center, Beno, and on the outside, Pistol. Now it's one-on-one with Beno. Slips up the inside, completing his initial pass ahead of Toots, who's on his scoring pass. Jukes with a little hop past Karam Bowler to complete his pass. Gets all 4 for Lincolnshire.
And I think my favourite point of that was the look over Toots' shoulder as he had one leg in the air. Very cheeky. Again, these guys are enjoying playing this game. They know how far they've come today. They're proud of that. They are doing their very best to keep enjoying this, but then also get that 5th place. And it's nice to see Toots not in the box.
Maelstrom going against Giggity. Maelstrom looking for the outside. Giggity almost knocked him out of bounds. Maelstrom riding the line up now to the inside. Giggity moves to the front. The Lincolnshire Jammer absorbs a shoulder from Pupatest, stays in bounds, but now Alligator does knock him out of bounds, but Alligator goes out of bounds as well, allowing Giggity to come back in clean. He's lead jammer. Maelstrom getting around Kosh and Eves Ormai to complete his initial pass. About a half a lap behind Giggity. Giggity's going to complete the scoring pass. Calls it off. 4 points to Lincolnshire.
And with that tapping of the hips, that does end. That is including some points finally on the board there. Again, moving Panam squad forward to 37. But Lincolnshire Rolling Thunder holding on to that, at least 130-point lead on 165. Do you know what? One of my favourite stands here, we have Rydell Skates, unmatched quality, unmatched performance. So you know what? Do me a favour, guys. Go and check them out at www.rydellskates.com. And if you want, you can buy me a new pair. I'm a size 6.
A little scrambling from Sully gets him out of the pack for lead jammer. Viking, the jammer for Pan Am, surrounded by purple. There goes Sully up the outside lane, avoids Lucky B and completes the pass. Gets around Monkey Business as well. Monkey Business was in there. Got a shot in. Grand slam though for Lincolnshire.
As you can see, some excessive force used up against Viking there. They are holding him back. Again, this is where he is showing the skill and just at the defensive skills of Rolling Thunders. They are looking very strong.
Delta wall broken up by a judicious shoulder check from Judas, but Tomahawk able to recover in time and catches Viking in turn 3. Viking going far back. Tomahawk drawing him back halfway to turn 2, as a matter of fact.
With that recycling, I think it must probably give him a minute to find his head again, because they made him spin and spin and spin. And sometimes you do just need that refocus, but what a great skill Viking is showing on that recovery. I got dizzy just looking at him.
It does not complete his initial pass, but not for lack of trying. A valiant effort from the Viking. But now we've got Pupatest lining up for Pan Am squad in the yellow against a fresh jammer for Lincolnshire. That's Beno, number 17, in the purple, wearing the star for Lincolnshire. A 4-on-3 pack advantage for Pan Am squad. Jerry Attrick in the penalty box for Lincolnshire. To the outside, Pupatest just touches out of bounds. Almost, does the referee, outside pack referee, saying that Pupatest did in fact step back in completely, and it's a cutting the track for Pan Am.
That is Pupatest off to the sin bin. It has been a couple of minutes since he's taken a seat, but you know what, guys, we still have 22.5 minutes left of play in this, and then after this we have one more game today. Earlier on, due to the unfortunate incident where one of our skaters was down by accident, we are delayed, but that does mean around 8:30 p.m. we're going to be having game 6 of the day, and that is the Crash Test Brumleys coming up against the New World Order. These will be working out to see who goes through to play for 5th place against the winner of our current game.
Beno on a scoring pass. He's normally a blocker, first time jamming today. He begins to make the gesture to call off the jam, but decides against it. Goes for a second scoring pass. Pupatest out of the penalty box, still on his initial pass for Pan Am. Brutal Deluxe taking a severe hit. It actually knocked his right elbow pad strap loose. He's got to get that fixed up, but that's gonna call off the jam. 2 points on a third scoring pass for Beno. 12 points total and a donut for Pan Am squad.
See, I told you I want a donut too.
You already had a muffin.
But I want a donut.
Donuts are good.
Yes. I don't like the ones with holes and I always feel like something's missing. Simple but true, Bulldog. Getting set up for the next jam, we have Maelstrom on the jam line for Pan Am squad, and he's coming up against number 3, Sully. Oh,
but the hole makes him easier to carry.
And do you know what? They were just having a little bromance moment there, that nice hug. Again, it's so important that you have this. We have notification that a timeout has been called, an official timeout. So that means that I'm going to have the chance to do another message from one of our wonderful sponsors. Juice Wheels, finally a refreshing innovation in wheels developed specifically for Derby at all levels of play. The new technology delivers grip when you need grip, roll when you need roll, and energy when you need it most. Do you know what? I will definitely checking these Juice Wheels out.
Maelstrom jamming for Pan Am squad against number 3 Sully for Lincolnshire. Pan Am in the yellow, Lincolnshire in the purple. Another empty penalty box, 5-on-5 on the track. Maelstrom, Sully dropping back. I think he may have thought that Maelstrom had stepped out of bounds and was trying to recycle him, but Maelstrom says, no, I didn't step out of bounds, and just took off. And now lead jammer and slips through up the inside on the inside lane this time. Same attack pattern as on his initial pass. So just like that, a grand slam for Pan Am squad. Maelstrom trying to leap the apex, but does a belly flop coming out of turn 2. Calls off the jam though. Sully gonna get a donut for Lincolnshire. So that's gonna be 5-0 Pan Am squad winning the jam. Carambola getting an illegal procedure for Pan Am squad. He's gonna sit out the first 30 seconds of the next jam. So 4-on-3 pack advantage for Lincolnshire. And Captain Wynn sent off. That was a Pan Am squad actually had one too many blockers on the track. So
that was actually Carambola is now in the box for the fact that he was blocking after the whistle. So that means that we'll get him a penalty timeout in that sin bin. Again, Pan Am squad are keeping our NSOs over there very busy this season.
Viking knocked to the infield for the Pan Am squad. Jammer has to recycle out of turn 1 as Tomahawk, the Lincolnshire jammer, slams into Carambola, starting his first scoring pass. He's already lead jammer. A 4-wall greets him at the front of the pack. Bad Mojo has position on him and maintains contact. Carambola comes across but can't contain Tomahawk. Tomahawk slips by, gets around Judas as well, a grand slam on his first scoring pass.
Lovely around those blockers. That Tomahawk is showing excellent skills, even though height that again can sometimes go against him, really showing that at this point it is making it a dominating personality on that track. At this time he's coming up against a couple of the Pan Am guys, but you know what? Even Judas can't hold him back.
Tomahawk gets a blocking with the head penalty. So that's a power jam for the Pan Am squad. Now Viking no longer jammer. He's passed the star to the pivot Alligator. So Alligator the jammer for the first time for Pan Am squad, but still on his initial pass. And Pan Am squad working together, driving the entire Lincoln blocking squad to the inside, opening up the outside, and Alligator slips by. Now on his first scoring pass, slams and ricochets, just bounces backwards off of a hip check from Kosh.
But with that, he gets a back block there to Kosh. That is Alligator off to the sin bin.
That's interesting because Kosh did not lose position at all. In fact, barely even moved. It was actually Alligator that fell down, but and Alligator getting the penalty. So, but nevertheless, a back block called on the Pan Am jammer. Interesting call.
Yeah, it's not one that I would have directly gone with at that time, but again, with those official calls, we can only observe. Just a quick score check. As you can see, Lincolnshire Rolling Thunders are stepping up. They have now broken through the 200-point mark, 201 to be exact. Pan Am squad, 46.
Toots now jamming for Lincolnshire. Gets a lead jammer very easily. And now that was Sully falling down, but he is going to get a low block penalty. So he's heading off to the penalty box. But Toots gets through anyway, past the 4 Pan Am blockers. 5 points on that first scoring pass. Alligator leaving the penalty box just as Toots hits the pack on his second scoring pass, weaves his way through all 4 defenders, gets a grand slam. That's number 2, 10 points so far for Lincolnshire.
And on that pass, I think Toots was doing some of those fantastic disco moves, the lovely arm flail again, keeping his position and still working hard for those points.
Alligator does complete his initial pass, but does not get around in time to put any points on the board for Pan Am. 2 more points in that third scoring pass for Toots. That's 12 points total for Lincolnshire.
Do you know what, just checking out some of the shirts that I've seen on certain players and people here today, it's great to see that Queens of the Sin Bin are represented. They are the official merchandise sponsors of this year's MEC. So for all of your custom derby clothing, whether you're a skater, official or fan, Queens of the Sin Bin can meet your demands. You can go visit their website, which is www.queensofthesinbit.com.
Benno jamming for the second time for Lincolnshire against Maelstrom. Maelstrom breaking free for lead jammer. Benno up front, knocked almost out of bounds, and now knocked down and out of bounds by Bad Mojo of Pan Am squad. Has to recycle just about three paces, or 3 strides, as in roller derby. But Maelstrom breaking through in the confusion, gets a grand slam. Now hits the pack on a second scoring pass. A failed attempt at an apex jump. Lands out of bounds, but collapses, avoids the cutting the track.
Yeah.
Recycles back in clean.
Unfortunately, just not enough height there on that apex jump. It's number 27, Monkey Business, has gone to the box there for the Sin Bin. Not quite sure exactly what it was, but I've just had clarification. It was actually a bank block. So with that, he will serve his 30-second penalty in the box. Looks like he's just had someone welcome to him. That is Maelstrom jamming there into the Sin Bin. This leaves it open for number 3, Sully, on a power jam.
Maelstrom got a cutting the track. Sully now the jammer after a star pass.
From Benno, I do believe that was.
And just dodges around Guns Power, number 69. Grand slam for Lincolnshire. That matches Maelstrom's scoring pass, his first scoring pass. But of course, Maelstrom was on a second scoring pass. Completes his penalty. Just pirouettes past Giggity. And I see he gets a cut. He does get a cutting the track penalty, a gain. So a little, just barely grazed out of bounds.
What would have been a nice skim around the outside there. Unfortunately, Sully was off track. A cut track has been awarded to him. That sends him to the penalty box. And looking at it, both jammers are in the box. So where does that leave us? Look like there is a little bit of a discussion with Giggity regarding something that just happened there. But they are getting set up for the start of this jam.
Maelstrom starting from the penalty box, returns to play. Sully will be returning to play shortly after that, already on his feet. But Maelstrom on his initial pass. A 3-wall awaits him. That's Toots dropping back to bridge. Pistol and Yves Ormai can't hang on, and that was a Rip Snorter trying to reel back in Maelstrom, but he gets out for lead jammer. Sully out of the penalty box, blasts past, that's Lucky B, just knocking down Lucky B, coming out of his initial pass, completes it, and catches up. Maelstrom sees him coming, tries to call off the jam. It's going to be close, though. 1 point only for Pan Am squad, and he did call off the jam, though, in time, though. Nothing for Sully of Lincolnshire.
And just a big shout out to one of our sponsored skaters we have on track today, Yves Ormay. He is a sponsored track for Ennui. Basically, if you go to ennui-brand.com, sorry, I will do that, ennui-brand.com, MEC14-brand.com. Basically, there is a new sort concept of protective gear specifically designed for this sort of sport. Again with this. Sorry, Bulldog, you carry on.
Pupates jamming for the Pan Am squad against Gaza Bite, number 8 for Lincolnshire. Gaza Bite up front. Bad Mojo makes last contact. Almost gets Gaza Bite down, but Gaza Bite powers forward, completes the pass for lead jammer. Pupates completing his initial pass, but about a third of a lap behind Gaza Bite. Gaza Bite just dives in, pile drives his way through, falls down as he exits the pack, but does manage to call off the jam and gets all 4 points. Nothing for Pan Am squad.
Pan Am squad on 52. Lincolnshire Rolling Thunders on 224. Keeping hold of that lead with still 12 minutes of play. This is going to be interesting. I'm not sure if Pan Am squad's hearts are in it anymore. Again, I mentioned this earlier, is I was really wanting to see them step up, because last year Pan Am squad very strong, but this year let's just hope that they can bring it back for these last 12 minutes.
Toots jamming, gets away from Lucky B, and he's lead jammer. Maelstrom for Pan Am squad completing his initial pass, but half a lap behind. So once again, initiative and advantage to Lincolnshire. Toots gets in, but doesn't call off the jam until Maelstrom is at least in striking distance, and he does get all 4 points, and nothing for Lincolnshire. Pan Am, in spite of not getting lead jammer, Lincolnshire had it, still wins the jam 4-0. That is Pan Am squad getting 4.
And you know what, just another quick shout out to skates.co.uk. They've been leaders in the extreme sports market since 2007 with a stellar range and expert advice in-house. And you know what, you can't go wrong. So do you know what, go check out their website, skates.co.uk.
Monkey Business, number 27, jamming for Pan Am squad, finds the opening on the inside he wanted, gets lead jammer. Giggity just outraces Carambola out of turn 2, complete his initial pass. Monkey Business on a first scoring pass, dives to the inside and calls off the jam. Just going to get a little bite off the back of the pack. 1 point for Pan Am squad, but keeps Lincolnshire from scoring.
We have the wonderful 223 Pooper test on the track there for the Pan Am squad. And you know what, that chap is coming up against the one, the only number 3, Sully. That guy must be tired. What can I say, delivering some cracking jams today. With that scooting round the outside for what is clearly lead jammer.
It is 5-on-5 right now, empty penalty box. Pooper test knocked to the inside. Comes back in, bounces off a shoulder from Eves Ormai, gets around Rip Snorter, stays in bounds, completes his initial pass just ahead of Sully. Sully comes through, completing his first scoring pass, gets 4 points for Lincolnshire, calls it off. Only 9 minutes remaining in the game. Lincolnshire with a solid lead, as expected. They were actually expected to potentially be one of the contenders for first place, but definitely it was a surprise defeat against the South Wales Silers in the very first game of the day. Very close game, very exciting.
Where did they come from? What can I say? That sort of game this morning was just where you want to start off this sort of tournament. It made everyone look up, listen, and take notice of just the sort of skills that other teams are bringing to this table now. This is not just a walk in the park. This is a serious tournament.
Giggity coming around for his first scoring pass. Already lead jammer. Alligator jammer for Pan Am squad. Recycled once again to the rear of the pack. Still on his initial pass. 5 points for Giggity of Lincolnshire. Second scoring pass for Lincolnshire as Alligator completes his initial pass. Giggity bounces off of a shoulder check from Monkey Business. Monkey Business actually falling down as a result. Jam gets called. 9 points total for Lincolnshire.
Do you know what? I do love to see this sort of tournament, but one of the things I'm definitely looking forward to this December is the Blood and Thunder World Cup. It's happening in Dallas in Texas, 30 countries, 4 days, 3 tracks. You know, go and get your tickets online. Also, if you do want any more information, you can go to their website, rollerderbyworldcup.com, and you know what? I may just see you there.
Sully, number 3, jamming for Lincolnshire against Maelstrom, number 6E23. I think that might be scientific notation.
Really?
6 times 10 to the 23rd power.
Well, you know what? When he comes off track and he's not as sweaty, I will go and ask.
You go feel free.
I will do indeed. That is Maelstrom coming up front, coming up against Toots for what was a nice hit there, but he's just skipping on by. Again, some serious work there for Sully as he pulls that jam off. Rather delicately tapping his hips again.
That's right. It's a very delicate procedure.
Earlier on, it was Tomahawk tapping it like a girl. The hips, that is. And now we have someone else doing it very delicately.
That was 4 points total for Lincolnshire, bringing them to 241. Panam squad at 57. Eves Ormai, number 247, jamming for Lincolnshire against number 223, Pupa-Test. Pupa-Test looking for the outside, but Giggity knocks him back with a hip check. Recycles clean, comes in. Now it's a 2-wall. Giggity and Gazabite holding back Pupa-Test, but Pupa-Test squeezes up the outside. He steals lead jammer away from Lincolnshire. Eves Ormai still on the track, still on his initial pass. Bad Mojo and Captain Win keeping him out of bounds and recycling him repeatedly as Pupa-Test comes through for a grand slam. A very sparse pack, a lot of penalties picked up by Lincolnshire early in the jam, but now they're recovering a little bit. Now Gazabite all by himself in the penalty box. Pupa-Test comes through a second time. 10 points so far for Panam squad. But Eves Ormai has gotten a severe blow. He's fallen down in turn 3. He's going to jam gets called off, and the medics are going to go have a look.
Again, it looked like quite a jolt to the system there. Sometimes it can be something as simple as that will knock your breathing. So what we will do is we will get our medics to double check with him, and we'll take a moment to make sure he's okay. In the meantime, just another quick shout out to some awesome London roller girls, Kristen Lee and Gorgasm, with their shop Double Threat Skates in central London. So if you're hanging around one day, go in and see them. And do you know what? They've got some fantastic stuff. So go check out their website, www.doublethreatskates.co.uk. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a bit of a quick update for you. The ambulance has arrived and has taken Joker away, and he's given us 2 thumbs up from the Joker. So do you know what? It's a good sign. And also a bit more good news regarding the other earlier incident of Darth Sebius. He's actually contacted us to say, tell Joker to stop being a copycat. And also the ceiling tiles aren't very interesting.
That message for Joker, of course.
So
that is Eves Ormai.
Exactly. So seeing that Darth Sebius still has his sense of humour is a great instinct to say that maybe he's going to be okay. Like I mentioned earlier, he is being kept in hospital, but that is literally just as a precaution.
Both teams are going to take a few warm-up laps after we've had a 26-minute official timeout. And of course, it's a moot point that the jam was called due to injury. Joker, on a technical note, since Joker's leaving the building, I doubt he's going to be playing anymore in this game. He's probably not going to be back in time for the last few jams. Yeah.
No, it's not looking very likely.
But best wishes to Martin Eves Ormai, also known as Lil Joker. Quite beloved skater and commentator here Lincolnshire. That's Manchester, right? Or I don't know.
Lincolnshire is a shire all of its own.
Perth, Lincoln. Yeah, Lincolnshire. That's in Wales, right?
Yeah, it's near
Stupid
Wales. Well done,
American.
Bulldog. You get 10 points on your geography of the UK. So
I got 10.
So Louisiana,
Awesome.
isn't that like right next to Washington, D.C.?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Oh, it's in Canada. Oh, I didn't realise that Canada and America were like the same place. Oh, that explains a lot, doesn't it? Especially thank you, Canada, for Celine Dion. In fact, you can have her back, and we'll give you One Direction.
Yeah, Canada's like the 51st state that doesn't get to vote. They're
Not
a lot, which is a lot like
you know
Washington.
What? Any of the jokes we're
As
just
a matter of
saying, it
fact.
is all just good fun. We do love all of our viewers, specifically the Canadians, because it means that I don't even know what time it is over there. If you're watching this, I love you, Canada.
Yeah, Canada is, I think, spread across 4 or 5 time zones. Yeah.
Well, then, even if some of them are asleep or awake, they will understand the message they're getting. That again, anyone watching this is a valued fan.
All right. Well, I think it's about. I think it's around noon on the east coast of the United States.
On the east coast, near Louisiana.
Yeah, right. The east coast. That's Louisiana. Yeah. No.
Isn't Louisiana next to
No,
California?
I actually know where Louisiana is, and it's not on the East
from,
Coast.
so I hope you do know where it is.
Did I say the East Coast?
Yeah.
I might be a little bit jet lagged. You know, I just don't. I meant the West Coast. It's about noon on the West Coast.
I'm glad you're not driving.
The East Coast
over
is
here.
on the other side. They're only 5 hours behind, so it's about
So
a little after 3.
Derby,
But
then.
now we are back to the game. Last 5 minutes of this game. Pan Am squad fielding Maelstrom against number 00 Giggity. Giggity goo. I kind of half-assed set it up, but Maelstrom getting out first for lead jammer. Pan Am looking strong, trying to want to finish strong at least. Not really much of a chance of overtaking Lincolnshire at this late minute in the game. But Giggity Goo coming out second, half a lap behind Maelstrom, and Maelstrom gets a back block penalty. It's going to be a power jam for the well, for the next 30 seconds anyway. But Giggity knocked out of bounds. Comes back in around Monkey Business, gets caught by Mad Mojo, but Mad Mojo not able to stop him. Giggity gets the grand slam. 5
points there for Giggity. That is increasing the lead for Lincolnshire, even more in front of Pan Am.
Second scoring pass. Avoids a shoulder check from Captain Wynn, but gets caught by Bad Mojo. And Judas knocking him out of bounds. He gets recycled way, way back. Judas did go out of and leave the engagement zone just briefly, but the referees recognized that, and he didn't get a legal pass on Judas. He got a no pass, no penalty, but was able to come back in without triggering a cut.
And each time they are scoring points, that is increasing the lead there for Lincolnshire Rolling Thunder. If my maths is good, which it isn't, so I'm going to try it, it's looking like there's a 183 points deficit. That difference is huge. And unfortunately, Pan Am squad have not been able to close that down. Again, with just under 4 minutes left to play, Bulldog, I think we're seeing just what each team has brought to the game today. And we'll see soon who goes through to 5th place on play for tomorrow.
Maelstrom does pick up 4 points on his one and only scoring pass. 9 points total for Giggity of Lincolnshire. Approaching the 3-minute mark in the game. Pubates, number 223, jamming for Pan Am in the yellow. Tomahawk, number 007, jamming it for Lincolnshire in the purple. Tomahawk back and forth. Now bulldozes his way through the Pan Am squad and steals lead jammer away from Pupates. Pupates huddled back by the Lincolnshire defense. And now gets passed, lapped by Tomahawk. Potential 5-point pass. Lucky B gets a shoulder check in. Pupates breaks free, completing his initial pass. But Tomahawk already got the grand slam. Calls off the jam. No joy for Pupates.
And with these last few minutes left of play, it's again this sort of thing where we are paying attention to make sure that at the end of this there are actually some awards that are going to be given out, sponsored by Juice Wheels. Again, each player that wins will win a full set of martini wheels. And the Martini series features a dual poured in a urethane core, allowing the running surface of the wheel to remain in contact with the floor longer. Do you know what? These actually come in 3 delectable flavours. So these sound awesome, and these lucky guys get to win a set. How do I get a set without paying? Come on, tell me now.
Toots jamming for Lincolnshire, number 21. He's up at the front, facing off against Viking and Alligator. Breaks free, gets lead jammer. Pan Am squad fielding a fresh jammer. Bad Mojo, number 8, who is at the rear of the pack behind Gaza Bite. Captain Wynn picks off Gaza Bite, but Gaza Bite just knocks him straight ahead. Someone's glasses have fallen off. I believe that's Captain Wynn's. Yes, Captain Wynn. His teammate Alligator handing his glasses back. He goes off the track to restore his equipment into functioning order. Yep. But Toots, meanwhile, getting out of the pack, getting another 4 calls off the jam. A total of 4 points for Lincolnshire, nothing for Pan Am. And dropping to, the next jam will start with less than a minute remaining in the game. Lincolnshire with a considerable lead over Pan Am.
And this is Bino on the jam line, number 17, Benno. Not sure what your name is, I do apologise, Benno. That's what I'm going for.
I was going with Beno, like it sounds
Lion-O.
Italian.
It's Benno.
Benno, just Benno.
Jamming there for the Lincolnshire
So we were all
Rolling
wrong.
Thunders. Strong off that jam line, and he's lead jammer.
Benno is lead jammer, and Monkey Business, driven out of bounds, has to recycle past turn to the top of turn 1. Benno getting away from Lucky B. Grand slam for Lincolnshire. Monkey Business, the jammer for Pan Am, bouncing off a hip check from Giggity. Keeps going forward, gets around Rip Snorter, completes his initial pass. But Benno now on his second scoring pass and just knocks over everybody in his path. Alligator and Carambola falling down on the straightaway, gets a 4-point pass. Monkey Business gets in, may have put some points on, just gets 1 point on the board for Pan Am. 9 points total for Lincolnshire in that one, and that ends the period clock. We have an unofficial final.
What can we say? Looking at the unofficial scores, Pan Am squad 72, Lincolnshire Rolling Thunder 268. We have our lovely referees just double checking, and they are going to confirm that official score. So again, with this, it does determine who comes into play tomorrow in 5th place, and then who comes to play in 7th. Again, with this, it's very important that we get the officials to confirm exactly. It's very energetic here. Both teams, I think, delivering a great play. Leaving a little bit to be desired from the Pan Am squad, but Lincolnshire Rolling Thunder, that I think have definitely stepped up to the plate today, delivering a lot of a stronger play than I think anyone realised.
There goes the Pan Am squad for a consolation lap.
Lap of honour.
And now Lincolnshire heading off for their victory lap.
And again, Lincolnshire Rolling Thunder can be very happy and proud of the play today. Looking at that score difference, what can we say? That's exactly what we'd expect from a team of very high standard, and let's just say, I think that's what they are. Both teams very vocal in their enjoyment of that game. You can't see it right now, but right at the back, they have got a huge hug going on. That's perfect to see.
Just waiting to see the score finally, and there it is. Lincolnshire 268, Pan Am squad 72. That is final. So Lincolnshire will be going into the 5th place bout tomorrow. Pan Am squad, the best they can do is finish 7th. Next up, we've got Crash Test Brummies versus New Wheeled Order. And the winner of that will face off against Lincolnshire tomorrow. The loser against Panam. So now we're going to go to break. Going to show you some commercials, and we'll be right back with the next bout.